Would you have rather had the summer you had or just buy Mbappe?
Summer we had, because look at our
What?
What?
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 17 of Inside the D, our first podcast episode of 2021. We're going to start off by saying our highlights of the year 2020. I'm going to start off by saying, well, there wasn't a lot of very exciting things in the year 2020 for Chelsea, other than the summer signings that were supposed to be pretty good, but weren't as good as we expected.
Havertz is a bust.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that my highlight of 2020 would be Chelsea's 2-0 win over Wolves on the final day to secure Champions League football for us this season.
Yeah. I think mine is pretty predictable, but it's going to be Arsenal winning the FA Cup.
Jeez.
The only good thing you guys have done.
What's your highlight of 2020?
Mine was it's a historic moment. One of the greatest penalty shootouts ever. Granted, versus a horrible team, but still, it was insane to watch. It was super nerve-wracking. I hated it in the moment, but looking back on it, like I wish I could watch another game like that, have that same amount of like emotion invested into the game. So I think that was a great moment for AC Milan because it helped us get into Europa.
I think that was a fantastic game. I watched that as well. The penalty shootout was unbelievable. The penalty in the 120th minute was great for you guys. But did you really just roast Luke for bringing up the FA Cup win, and then you're talking about a game to get into the Europa League against a team?
I didn't roast. I just said that's really the only thing they've done.
I mean,
I can't roast them anymore. They're playing pretty fire right now, so I can't roast them anymore.
2021 is Arsenal's year. They have more wins than Chelsea in 2021.
3 points behind.
Look at that.
Bukayo Saka!
Arsenal are 3 points behind Chelsea now.
Yeah.
We're in ninth.
I think the Men in Blazers tweeted this, and I sent it to these guys, and I think that Arsenal and Chelsea had a bit of a form swap when we played.
I was gonna say that.
And kind of Arsenal's really picked it up. It's really nice, and Chelsea's gone a little down, which is also really nice.
You're in a bad position as a Chelsea fan when you play Morecambe this weekend and you just are not confident. You think you're gonna lose. Like, I don't think we're gonna win. And it's like the third round of the FA Cup. I'm not confident for some reason. I don't see ourselves going through, but I probably butchered that name too. I've never even said that team's name before. I don't know if they're Championship or League One or something, but
I mean,
like Newcastle.
Look, I was telling this to Luke the other day. We were on the phone. Nothing makes me happier in this world than seeing Chelsea being absolutely horrible. And I told Luke I would give anything to see them finish 8th, just out of Europa. Not even close to Champions League. Aiden could never talk about soccer again. He'd be banished from talking about soccer.
Why is that?
I mean, 8th place for all the talking you've been doing.
Why does Arsenal get to talk so much? They finished 8th place last year.
They're on the rise.
We admit we're bad because we.
They didn't spend 255 mil.
Listen,
there's no coming back from that.
I'll admit we should be performing much better than we have been performing. We've won one game in our last 7 league games with like a couple draws, I think, or a few draws. It's not looking good. I'm not gonna lie. It's really bad.
But look, you can't blame it solely on the players because you guys do have good talent.
Of course.
I know this is gonna hurt Aiden to hear, but Lampard, a great player, does not seem to be a good manager. What do you think Chelsea should do to handle that situation? Because obviously you don't want to ruin ties with a historic player for your team.
Of course.
But he's definitely not living up to the expectations.
Well, obviously every Chelsea fan wanted Lampard to do well as he is a club legend. You always want the club legend. It's kind of like when Arsenal brought in Freddie Ljungberg for a second. I mean, not that
and Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, and there you go, Mikel Arteta. That's a perfect example. And Ole. I mean, he's doing better now, but there were some points where they were like, "Well, we want him out."
With Zidane and Royale.
Well, Zidane.
Well, Zidane's done a lot better than Arteta.
Yeah, but for me, I think I don't want to say Lampard out right now. Obviously, there's available alternatives. There's Tuchel, former PSG. There's Allegri available. There's a couple other Shevchenko that is rumored to take over. I think if Lampard's going to stay, what he needs to do is he needs to stay in touch with the Chelsea players. I feel like he's just losing them in the locker room. I feel like there's just a huge absence of chemistry in the locker room right now, and it's really reflecting on the field. I mean, look at the talent we have. We have one of the best starting lineups in the league. We should be winning the league or finishing second or third, and we're sitting at ninth halfway through the season. So I want Lampard to stay, but things have got to change.
Yeah, and Aiden also at the start of the season, everybody knows this. A new player comes in. No, I'm not roasting you. A new player comes in, and they need time to adapt. But when you're halfway through the season, and Werner really has only gotten worse for Chelsea, Havertz hasn't done anything. I mean, what was it? His first assist for you guys, the past game that he got, or second?
It
hasn't.
It was one of the. Yeah, it was one of.
Yeah, he hasn't really done anything. Mendy is looking like a great signing. Chilwell, he's performing pretty well. I think he's great attacking.
I think
Silva's
our defensive signings have been
defensive signings were the best. I think Chilwell's done great. Mm-hmm. I really think right now he's the best performer on your team, which is a little sad.
Yeah, I would say that.
And he's actually been fantastic this season, and Mendy's been a really good signing.
Amazing. And Silva as well has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
And not that it's a new signing, but Kurt Zuma has been unbelievable as well.
Yeah.
And I think James, our whole back line that was our problem last season. We didn't have any defense. Now we have the defense, but our offense isn't producing as well as we like.
But it also, I mean, I was watching a couple highlights of, the past 7 or 8 games that you guys have had. And your back line is great, but it looks like they're all a little bit out of sync. Like they don't look like they have the best of chemistry. And granted, a lot of them are new teammates, but still, like halfway through the season, they still haven't, synced up yet. There was I watched a lot of times because Thiago Silva was captaining you guys, or he is, and you see him getting really disappointed with a lot of your defenders because they're making like these stupid mistakes. They're not communicating well, which shows like they don't have a connection yet to be good.
Well, I wouldn't even say they don't have a connection yet. I think they did actually have that connection in the opening, 7 or 8 weeks of the season. But because of our bad run of form right now, they're losing that chemistry. And I agree. I mean, like I said before, the chemistry is not there on the field or in the locker room, and you can really tell.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing that Chelsea is kind of missing is some captaincy. A really strong captain, just kind of coming from an outside source as a non-Chelsea fan. That's kind of what I've been able to see. They're kind of missing a captain on the field and off the field. Because when a team that on paper should be really good is doing this poorly, a lot of times you'll see a captain step up and, kind of tell his own guys off and kind of hope to get back to that good run of form that you guys actually really were in for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I think that you guys were hoping that it would be Thiago Silva or that it would be one of your Spaniard fullbacks. But between Marcos Alonso or
neither of them play.
I mean, Marcus hasn't played in ages.
But they've both been at the club for a long time and kind of have been around the system for a while. And I think that that's what Chelsea is really missing right now because there's no one on the field that's stepping up other than these new signings, right. Which is weird to see that you guys have really put all of your trust into players who aren't adapted.
There are 3 players that I see as really good captains for Chelsea. One of them being Azpilicueta, who doesn't play. He's only played in absence of Reece James and that. But Thiago Silva would be another one, and Jorginho. But Jorginho doesn't play as much because there's Kovacic, Kante. Like I said, Aspi doesn't play. So Thiago Silva is the best captain choice, but it's kind of hard. We know he's a good captaining PSG. He's captained, I think he captained Brazil's team for a little bit or a few tournaments or something. We know he's a good captain, but it's these new teammates that he's not used to playing with that it's hard for a new guy to just come in and be the captain right away.
Also, since your starting lineup, I mean, half of it now is new players from this season. It seems like they're all like a little bit scared to try and take that leadership role because, they don't want to be the guy known like on the team as the new kid who came in and tried to take over, right? So, there's really that lack of leadership and also the players who have been at your club for a while, nobody's stepping up. But it's not just the players. You look to the sideline. Frank Lampard, I mean, when you guys mess up, he's not there trying to correct the players. He literally just like drops his head, turns around, he's mad. Like, I don't want to bring it back to AC Milan, but at least when I watch the games,
yes,
no, but I'm just saying, like when I watch the games, all I hear is our coach yelling to the players, like helping them out, telling them exactly what to do. Lampard, I mean, I never see him do anything like that.
I agree. Well, first of all, Pioli is Italian. They're always like, I think of Antonio Conte, right? Former Chelsea
Yeah.
manager. He screams and yells. But yeah, you look at Jurgen Klopp or you look at Pep Guardiola and you see that they're very vocal on the sidelines. And Frank Lampard, it almost looks like, I don't want to call him this because, of course, he's got the tactics and he's got all that. But you could look at him as like a sort of a fan. He's just there on the sideline, like cheering for the team if they score and disappointed if they don't or make a mistake.
Yeah, and I don't think that's working out. And that's kind of been a thing that I've seen with Arteta, which I think he's done really well in, is kind of separating himself and kind of stepping back. And I'm not a player anymore, I'm not on the field. And a lot of times we see him yelling at Ceballos, who kind of picks up a similar role as Arteta did when he played. And you hear Arteta yelling at him the whole game, which is really refreshing to see that, he's trusting the players that maybe the fans aren't backing as much. And I think that the problem with Lampard is that he's backing the players that the fans don't trust at all. And he's kind of going with the fans instead of proving them wrong, which a lot of managers seem to like to do. And he's kind of just letting Havertz be a bust as of right now. He's not really...
He's not pushing them to be the best that they
he's
can
not.
be.
He's not correcting their mistakes, as Aiden said.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a little disappointing to the players. And I know that you as a fan feel that it's disappointing. And it's hard to watch because we were talking before this, and Havertz really is. I mean, he was amazing last year.
Oh yeah,
and Werner. And it kind of sucks to really see them struggle because we know what they have to offer. And yeah, as a non-Chelsea fan, it sucks.
But it's also, it must be hard. Like Aiden at the start of the season, Werner was amazing. I mean, he was playing great, and you're so excited because your new signing is playing amazing. And then he just starts to, it's weird. He just starts to lose his confidence. He's not playing as well. He's not taking the same shots that he was. He's trying to like lay it off when he should be really taking the shots. I mean, I know Aiden texts us about it, but it's happened so many times where like he should be shooting and he just lays it off, and it confuses the people. But I also think Lampard has a little bit of an issue with picking the lineup. I think he's favoring these new guys rather than using, maybe the players that Chelsea's had for a while, but they're not really the favorites. I mean, obviously he probably doesn't want to show the board that he's like benching his new, 40 million euro signing. But also like Ollie Giroud, he was in amazing form. Why isn't he playing more? We saw Hudson-Odoi. He's come on twice or three times, and he's been amazing when he comes on. Why not let him start? Aspilicueta last game, he had a pretty good game.
He's not. He shouldn't be ahead of Reece James though. Reece James was injured.
No, but I'm saying he needs to cycle the lineup more rather than always picking the same people.
He does say squad rotation is very important. I agree with you on that with the Giroud point, and I think that's sort of where Werner is sort of getting himself, or he's getting a little nervous. Is at Leipzig he was the starting striker and no one else was going to take his place. Paulsen wasn't really competing with that starting spot, and if he ever did play, Werner was still on the field. But Werner's got that competition. He's got Giroud and he's got Tammy to battle against. I disagree with you, Iko, in the sense that he does bench Havertz. Havertz hasn't started in the last 3-4 games. It's been Mason Mount who's been playing very well.
Wait, no, I said Hudson-Odoi.
But I'm saying
Hudson-Odoi.
What I'm saying is you say like benching the new player.
Oh, okay.
He's benched our most expensive signing, and as a Chelsea fan and in the eyes of a non-Chelsea fan, no one wants to see Havertz performing badly. He's a really, really good, young, talented star, and I'm really hoping this doesn't ruin his development.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we've seen with Arsenal, and kind of how Arteta's been really rotating the wingers in their form. When Pepe's having a bad set of games, it's Willian. And when Willian's having a bad set of games, it's Saka. And then when Saka's having a bad set of games, it's to Martinelli or Aubameyang. And that's refreshing to see as a fan that your coach can put trust into so many different players, that we're seeing now a really good run of form from kind of all the players.
When you brought up Arsenal youngsters, I don't know why. I don't know if you even remember this guy. Eco probably doesn't know who this is. But the first player I thought of was Yaya Sanogo. Do you remember him?
Oh yeah.
What happened to that guy?
Oh, I don't know what happened to
I
him.
watched a video. It was like a few years ago, or maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and they were asking fans of teams who is the best player in the world apart from Messi, Ronaldo. There's people saying Neymar, like Barca fans saying Neymar, Suarez. There's Bayern fans saying Lewandowski or Muller. City fans are saying Aguero. And they did an Arsenal fan, and he said Yaya Sanogo. It was like a 15-year-old kid. So, man, I was
That's
dying.
great. That is great.
Such a good video. But yeah, I don't know why I thought of him. Where'd he go? What happened to that guy?
I have no clue. I think we must have dropped him or something.
100%.
But,
I'm gonna do some research on that right now.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I have not heard that name in a long time.
While Aiden's looking that up, I have a question for you guys. This is Aiden found it. What is it?
Free agent.
How old is he now? He's like
27.
He's 27.
He's old now. He's old-ish. You know, he's not like a young star anymore. But
yeah, but old. Oh yeah.
Is Havertz gonna be the next Yaya Sanogo?
Yaya Sanogo was never worth that much. He was never worth that much though.
No.
Well, I got a little question for you guys. Since you know it's the start of January, the winter transfer window. What are some moves? Well, maybe not Aiden so much because you guys spent all your money.
Declan Rice.
What are some moves that you want to see your team do in January?
I'll gladly start.
Yep.
Let's start with one that's already happened. Sead Kolasinac to Schalke for a 6-month loan. Really happy about that. Really no complaints. Wasn't playing anyways. Might as well. The second one was I was seeing Saliba to Nice.
I think that's confirmed.
I don't know if it may be confirmed. I'm not sure.
I think I saw it confirmed.
I think that's good for him.
You have the sketchy Italian site that tells you.
No. On what was it on? On transfers, yeah.
Oh, okay. Eco one time a couple years ago. Sorry to cut you off here. He was telling me about a confirmed transfer, and it was N'Golo Kante from Chelsea to Man United, and it said done deal in his Italian Instagram, and it just obviously wasn't true, but. That's
Saliba to Nice is done for 6 months.
That's good because he didn't.
I think that's really important. We were talking about this before. Ozil to either the MLS. He was in talks with DC United, which I think I would like to see. But he needs to go in this window. And then for signings, I don't really know. It would be nice to get an attacking mid, but I just don't think that's going to happen in the January transfer market. I think that we're just going to have to tough it out for the rest of the year. And because we're not going to get the backing. I'm trying to think of any other. I think we're going to try to sell Alex Runnerson, and bring in a new goalie because Arteta doesn't like him. Other than that, I can't really think of any signings to make. There's a lot of signings that I would like to make, but they're just not realistic, like Uwar coming in.
That was very realistic last.
But now with Partey coming in, I don't think that's going to happen in January. And I think that we're going to see Bellerin out over summer.
You guys should bring in, if you want an attacking mid, that could be a realistic option. I know he's in talks with other teams right now, but Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, so there were kind of two, or well, I guess three in total that I was really seeing float around on my Instagram and Twitter, which were Eriksen being one of them, Buendia being another.
Yes, Buendia. Yep.
And then obviously, as we just talked about, Awar being the last. And I think that they're all really possible. I don't know how I feel about Eriksen because he was a Spurs player for so long, but he's kind of moved on from those ways. But
you'd rather have that, wouldn't you? You'd want a player who comes from where I was like Giroud, Ashley Cole came from being an invincible to Chelsea. Like
I see what you're saying, but he's kind of old. And I don't know. I never really loved his play style. But Buendia, I would really like to see.
You know who's someone who would be, perfect and quite cheap? It really hurts me to say this because I absolutely love him.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Is it?
we
Yeah.
haven't come to an agreement with him yet. 6 months left on his contract.
Good
You
player.
guys give him a good amount of money per year. He'd be happy to go to you guys.
Would
right
be
now,
a better signing than Eriksson, might I add.
I think so,
Yes,
because
absolutely.
Hakan is still 26, 27, so he's got a couple years left on him. Again, hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully he resigns with us. But there was a couple Premier League teams interested in him, and I'm surprised I didn't see Arsenal on that list.
They should pursue interest. I mean, again, if they weren't on that list, I mean, they might not.
Eriksson's
never
only
know.
28.
Who, Eriksson?
Yeah, he's 28.
So
He's not old.
Same-ish age as Çalhanoğlu.
Yeah, we just need to get an attacking mid.
But here's why, actually. So, okay, Çalhanoğlu I still think would be a better signing than Eriksson. However, Eriksson would still be a good signing, I think, because he didn't play well in the Serie A, but he played well in the Premier League, so it might just be a league thing. He'll be back
or is it that he slowed down his form because towards the end of his Tottenham career he was not playing well.
But it depends on the league, like Alexis Sanchez and Romelu Lukaku. Maybe not Alexis Sanchez when he second at Inter. Maybe you thought he
Chris Smalling. How about that? He's been performing.
Chris Smalling for Roma,
great at Roma.
Yep. But Lukaku's absolutely beasting in the Serie A, but he was falling off, at Manchester United.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see something. Maybe we bring a youngster in, maybe we bring someone proven in, but Arteta knows that something needs to happen, and he's kept his radar pretty open. Other than that, I mean, we don't really need strikers. We have young strikers. We got center backs. We got all that. So,
Aiden, Chelsea, you guys think you should spend any more money?
No, we are.
I don't think they're gonna spend any more money. Honestly,
we are going to spend. We are going to try to spend money, if not in this transfer window, in the summer transfer window, for Declan Rice. I'd be satisfied with Declan Rice or without him. I don't think we need any more signings, so I'm just going to focus on the players we need out. No hate to these players. I mean, I love all these guys. Christensen out because Tomori is getting unsettled. He wants a loan. He wants to move away, and it's unfair that we're starting Christensen over Tomori. So get rid of Christensen so we can give Tomori more chances to play. Tomori will actually probably go on loan, maybe for 6 months. Leeds United is the front runner, which just pisses me off a little bit.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Kind of on the topic of Chelsea center backs. Is Thiago Silva on a 1 year or is he on a 2 year? Because you have to keep in mind.
I think 2.
I think
it kind of goes with the Arsenal thing because David Luiz is only to the end of the season. So we're going to have to seek out a replacement.
So the plan is, or I guess in my eyes, the plan is we were already trying to, give a contract extension offer to Thiago Silva. So we're hoping he signs for, I think, another year. So 3 years in total. If not, we do have Tomori, who we're hoping can develop, which is why we're sending him out on loan. We want him to develop to become a starter. And if not, we do know Declan Rice can play center back if we end up landing him in the next couple windows. So that him out. Giroud to Juventus. That was something that Juventus said they really wanted. Fabrizio said this morning he stays at Chelsea. No worries with that. I think Giroud has been one of our best players in the entire year of 2020. When he plays, he delivers. Another player that this is not going to happen, although it's I can hope is Iko knows what I'm going to say. I think is Gianluigi Donnarumma. Mendy's a great signing. Don't get me wrong, but he is older. We are going to need a younger starting goalkeeper. This is just sort of a replacement for Kepa. Keep him for a year or two, and then find a new goalkeeper.
That would be ridiculous.
Could I ask you something though?
We don't have money.
Do you think? Yeah, well that. But also, do you think Donnarumma is gonna want to go to a team where he's gonna have to be competing for that spot? I mean, there's gonna be some. Don't get me wrong, and I think Aiden can agree with me on this. Donnarumma's a better goalkeeper, but there's still gonna be that competition for who gets that spot. And does he want to go to a team where he has to do that, or does he want to go to a team or stay with AC Milan where he knows he's going to stay?
Well, that's what
he's already said.
I actually don't think he has a problem with going to Chelsea in the sense that he will have to compete with Mendy. I don't think he worries about competing with Mendy. Keep in mind, we still have Kepa. I don't think he's worrying about competing with those guys. What I am worried about is I just don't see Donnarumma moving. He's said that he grew up with AC Milan since a kid. He said he wants to say it's all his agent. I mean, I absolutely hate this guy. He's tried to stir up so many things.
Yeah.
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 And 2018 there was this whole thing where he was going to go to Real Madrid, but he convinced his agent that he wants to stay. Everybody thinks that's going to happen again, but you done with your
Yeah, go
transfers?
ahead,
Can I
go
go to
ahead.
AC Milan?
You take
Because
it
that
over.
leads
bud.
into it. The main things I want to see.
Oh, Luke's not
So
done.
you're not bringing anyone in.
Unless it's Declan
in
Rice.
your perfect world, other than Declan Rice, you're not bringing anyone in.
No.
Okay. Go on, Iko.
Well, the first things I want us to do is to get Donnarumma and Hakan Çalhanoğlu 2 new contracts. I want us to permanently sign Brahim Diaz from Real Madrid, but they're asking a lot because he's shown that he's got talent to be great, and Zinedine Zidane loves him, so they want a lot of money for him. We also yesterday put in a bid for the Verona captain, Mattia Zaccagni, for 12 million.
Never heard.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Well, he's good in the Serie A, but
that's great.
he's gonna help strengthen our depth. And there's been a lot of rumors about Ricky Puig coming to AC Milan, being a little
Like that.
one of the
I don't
guys on
mind
the
that.
bench. I don't think it's gonna happen. Barcelona and AC Milan have both said that neither of them have even discussed it. I don't know where the rumor came from, but I really want us to get more depth in the midfield, because as we're seeing right now, we really our only available midfielders are Kessie, who's amazing, and then Krunic, who's like 4th or 5th in line. Because
and then Tonali, but he's on a red.
Well, Tonali's on a red.
Yeah, how did he get sent off? Was it straight red?
It was
No,
so stupid.
It was not a red. It was
Yeah,
studs down tackle, but it was like
He
at
hit him like
the top of the
he hit
shin.
him like the top of the shin, but it was just like
But it was
it
studs
was a bit
down.
of a wonky
yeah.
tackle.
But it was
to
a
be
straight
fair.
red.
Straight red.
It was a
It was a yellow VAR.
to a red.
Studs up or studs down?
No. I think
Down.
he hit him with like
To
the
the top
tip
of the shin,
cleat.
like under the kneecap.
No,
yeah,
like,
probably like 4 inches under the kneecap, but like
That's a
not
high
this.
tackle. High tackle, you get a red anytime. I mean, there's.
But the guy flicked the ball down. Like you could tell he was going
for the ball.
I see.
It
Which
was
sucks
just
because he's
unlucky.
got a red when we
They can
we-
reverse it, can't they?
No,
You
they
could
can,
appeal
but
it,
they're
but
not
it's not
going
worth
to.
it.
They're not going. It's
And
not like one
because
of
we
those.
have a game tomorrow versus Juve, and we
What?
don't have a midfield. We
Coppa
Kessie, and
Italia?
that's it. No, right, season game.
Serie A.
Yeah,
Oh, that's tomorrow.
but we don't have a midfield. We don't have Zlatan.
I have not been paying attention. What's up with
As
Zlatan?
long as you guys don't.
He's still hurt. He's
Still
hurt
coming
from that
back.
hand?
He's coming back after this game.
From
I
that
think.
hammy injury that we saw.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. But
By the way, I was gonna ask you, what's the deal with Ibra in terms of how many years is he gonna stay?
Might as
he
well
has-
stay
I
another.
think it's the option for another, and he's gonna stay probably.
He will stay.
We're performing pretty
surprised.
well, so why wouldn't he
By
want?
the way, Donnarumma is 100% staying at Milan if you guys win something this year, which is very possible. Serie A is-
Definitely. What I don't understand is him and Hakan are asking for just a little bit more, like I think $1 million more each per year.
To him.
I don't know why we won't give it. We have the money.
Your owner.
We're persistent about it, and our owner, Elliott Management, is. I truly hate them because they do not provide.
Where are
us
they
with
from?
the
Are they an
money.
American company?
Yeah, American. Yeah,
Who
But,
you guys were bought by? Was it Louis Vuitton or something like that?
yeah. He was interested. I don't know if he's. still
Imagine a Louis
interested.
Vuitton.
That'd been
thing.
sick. Do you see all the new PSG jerseys, like the Chanel and Balenciaga?
Are those real?
I'm pretty sure they are.
They're such a fashion soccer team.
It's
Honestly.
so cool. Their
They won't
teamwork
be good
kids
this
are.
year.
Yeah.
Anyway, you could continue with your transfer wishes.
2 more. One that I know is not going to happen, but there was talks about it. There was a lot of talks about it.
Like,
Zaha to AC Milan.
That's not a bad one, you know.
It was,
I like that.
There was a lot. There was a lot of talk around that. It seems like that died down. It seems like that's not going to happen. But something that's very likely to happen is Papu Gomez coming to AC Milan. He's older. He's still great. He's still performing great, and I think he'd add a lot of depth. He'd give us a good, player to link up with Hakan. I think them two, and then Kessie. I mean, they could
I
all
think he
work.
would be a replacement for Hakan. That's why they're holding out on his contract. Because if they
No.
get Papu, why do they
He's
need
30.
Hakan?
He's 33.
Plus, Eco's in
Only
love with
give him
Papu
1 year.
Gomez. He almost
No,
put him in the podcast pre-show talk. He almost put him in his team of the year.
No, I was kidding, but no, don't get me wrong. He's amazing.
guys.
Right.
It looks
He's a
like
player.
that could happen because Atalanta's coach and him they're not mixing well.
Yeah.
Papu, he's not practicing with them anymore. He's
Yeah.
practicing on his own.
Yep. He's out of
He's
there.
for sure gonna leave at
He's
some.
leaving.
Like,
It's the matter
by
of when.
Yeah.
Well,
And
over summer, I think. But
I know I've said this a lot, but I
Yeah.
think Atalanta's manager is horrible. I mean, after what we saw in the Champions League last year, I've mentioned it so many times. He's a bad manager. I wouldn't blame Papu for wanting to leave. And Atalanta, I think they're declining again.
Probably. I mean, it's almost not. It's not like they were declining. It's they had a couple good seasons and maybe they're just going back to normal. You said Zaha. I think Zaha's just he's one of the most talented players in the Premier League, but he's just been stuck on Crystal Palace. Do you think he would have performed? Like, forget AC Milan for a second. Do you think he would still perform well on a team like, say, Manchester City or Liverpool, or is it just a Crystal? Is he just like a mid-table star?
I think it's that like he's really the key player of that team. He's the one who's going to be doing the goal scoring and the assists. He's going to be getting all the stats.
Yeah, you got players like him and Jack Grealish. I think they're kind of similar in the sense of playmakers, goals, assists, but need to get out of their clubs.
And
they'd both be great on higher teams, but they wouldn't put up the stats that they're putting up now.
Because you got to keep in mind, like Zaha is Crystal Palace's whole attack.
Yeah.
So it's like he gets all the stats.
Hey. Mishi Batshit
Okay, no disrespect to Mishi, but like he doesn't really.
Isn't Mishi backing him up now because Zaha plays the striker?
Yeah, Zaha's
what's his name? Eze is on.
Oh, he's so good. He's so
that
good.
That free kick he had off the bar and in.
Ridiculous.
Stunning.
But
absolutely stunning.
I think like all three of our teams want players like Papu, want players like Zaha. Like these are players that any team would love to have. But I think AC Milan really kind of needs one, not needs, but it would be really helpful for them to get that one final kind of piece in the puzzle in attack. And
you know what player you guys should get, Ego? Because since you guys almost for some reason got Burnley's Jeff Hendrick last season, and instead he went to Newcastle. Since you guys go for those types of players, you should go for the Scottish Zidane at Aston Villa, John McGinn. He's not a bad player, you know. I just think of that one goal he had in the championship where he just perfectly volleyed it off the bar and in. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah. I think I have.
Absolute stunner. You guys should go for him. Not a bad player.
Oh, so I think the last piece to our puzzle is a player I haven't mentioned yet. We need a right winger because we have pretty good ones, but no like true talent, and I think that's what we need, and somebody who there's a slight interest in, but I hope it gains because I love this guy and he's performing well. Leon Bailey, he's an amazing right winger. I think if we got him, our attack would be set. I mean, he fits right into what our club wants. You know, a younger player who has a lot of potential, and he's been performing great.
Underratingly great as well. Because remember, he was like big talk maybe a couple years ago, and he hasn't really been talked about as much. But I've always loved Leon.
But it's the start of the first half of this season specifically. He's been like off the charts.
I haven't even been paying attention.
I think he has like, don't quote me, but like 8 goals, 4 assists or something.
He's the second best athlete to come out of Jamaica ever, besides Usain Bolt. I was gonna say person, but I'm sure that's
this season in 13 matches, he's 4 goals, 4 assists.
I was way off.
Left wing.
How many goals?
No, right wing, Luke. He's playing right wing right now.
My app is telling me left wing.
What's your source?
Thought Mob.
What is that?
I have watched him. He's playing on the right wing,
so
which is why we're interested. Is because we have left winger. We need a right winger.
That'd be a good signing for you.
If you get Papu, you can put Hakan on the wing.
No, honestly, the only things I really want us to do is get the two re-signs and then get Bailey. I mean, that would be a perfect January transfer market for me.
So I think of Leon Bailey as I'm going to compare him to a player. Luke, who's the first player you think of when you think of a guy on the right wing who cuts in and shoots with his left?
Ian Robin.
Robin, right? That's Bailey on the right wing, cutting in with his left.
I think Bailey's a bit more of a playmaker. And
Bailey's
Robin or do it yourself.
Yeah.
But I do think that would be a good signing for you guys. I wasn't even thinking about that. That's a really good signing if you can pull that off. How much is he going for?
He's probably like 40.
I think it
like
was something like
22.
30, 35, 30,
My
something
app
like that.
valued him at 33, so anywhere
Yeah.
from 30 to 40 would make sense.
But
Get him
yeah,
now.
33.
and there's nobody really that I want out exactly. I mean, if I had to pick one, it'd be like
Lexalt
Krunic,
on a permanent deal.
yeah. Oh, I hate Lexalt. Don't get me started. Oh my god.
Every
he's the
time we
worst.
bring up his name, I hate him. I hate him.
He's the worst. He's the worst. He's the Walmart version of Theo Hernandez.
He's like the C Tech. He's not even B Tech. He's C Tech.
Yeah, exactly. Duarte is one of our center backs who literally never plays. We could get a couple million for him to help, maybe re-sign one of the players that we need, but
okay.
I doubt management will allow that.
Probably not. I mean, your management, let's admit, okay, out of all of the owners of the three of our teams, I mean, let's just say that Roman Abramovich is probably the most generous. Stan Kroenke maybe
probably is.
Yes, Stan Kroenke's fine.
Bro, he gives you like play money. You want 300 mil to spend here?
What's like the biggest meme in Chelsea is Frank Lampard after he loses to Arsenal asks for 200 more million from Rome.
Yeah, Arteta barely got enough money to get Partey.
Well, Stan Kroenke, I've heard that. I'm not going to say too many things about him because I don't know much about it. But I went on like Arsenal's YouTube channel and Arsenal's Instagram a few weeks ago, and like everyone wants him out. I mean, why is that?
Yeah.
Would you even would you know, or is it just?
I have no clue.
I'm sure with the new form, they're fine with keeping him in.
Yeah. Well, if we get some backing, that'll be nice.
Which I'm sure he will.
We'll see.
We'll see. By the way, Abramovich, he just splashes all his money. I mean, when Abramovich took over in 2003, I want to say it was like July 2003 when he took over, we ended up winning 2 Premier League titles in the next 3 years with the greatest point total that stood for 13 years or some.
Wait, I might be completely wrong with this because my source is TikTok.
What, Chelsea?
But didn't he buy Chelsea for like €1 or something?
He bought it from
it was like a dying club, right?
It was from like Ken Bates. So we were in financial trouble in the early 2000s, and Roman Abramovich bought the club. But the reason why it was only €1 is because he had to take on all that financial debt with it, and he covered it. He covered it, and then
that makes sense.
We became like a world-class team.
How much money do you think he's put into Chelsea?
More than the three of us combined will ever even know. Like,
you think like a couple billion?
No, I wouldn't say $1 billion. You know what?
I would. Yeah. Plus the financial, whatever the debt he had to get out of.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe
$1 billion. Maybe
there's a chance. There's a chance.
On the topic of owners, something that my dad brought up to me earlier, which I was like kind of taken off guard by. So as I'm not sure if you guys know or not, LeBron James is a part owner of Liverpool.
Yep.
And he's made Mbappe his Instagram profile picture.
They're doing a thing together. That's why.
Okay, but
Mbappe made LeBron.
Mbappe's not going to Liverpool, Luke. Relax.
Mbappe made his profile picture LeBron. They're doing some like crossover thing. It's not.
Do you think
I read
that
it
is a possibility?
No, it was on BR or 433 or something posted about it where it was. They're doing a crossover. He's not.
I don't think Liverpool's management would ever give them the funds. The only realistic team that could buy Mbappe is probably Real Madrid. Maybe if he wants to give a little bit.
City won't buy him.
But they have the funds to do it. They won't do it because they have Aguero, but they have the funds.
Chelsea would have the funds if we just ask Mr. Abramovich for more money.
That was your whole summer.
Or
could have just bought Mbappe.
Would you have rather had the summer you had or just buy Mbappe?
Summer we had, because look at our
What?
No doubt about it. I would have just gone out and bought Mbappe.
Havertz and Werner, who are in very bad dry spells. But
no doubt about it. Mbappe would have been top goal scorer.
Yeah,
you guys would be first in the league.
Right, but wait, who would be our left back?
Aspie.
You don't need a left back if you have Mbappe.
We'd have Kepa in goal or Caballero. Right?
You have Mbappe.
We'd have Tony Rudiger in goal.
You literally have Mbappe.
You can cover that. You can cover that in a couple of years.
Emerson at left. I mean, it would be our backline.
You have what's to come. Possibly the greatest soccer player ever.
What wins championships, guys? Defense.
Mbappe does.
We wouldn't have a champion.
Come
my goodness. We'd have a much weaker.
All right.
Mbappe.
I have a question.
Let's hear it.
If you were
Mm.
Chelsea and Barcelona is asking 250 million euros for Messi, would you do it?
No.
Really?
Higher chance of getting him on a free.
Exactly.
I
Also,
would do that.
I feel like
God.
when you're already such a good team, bringing it. Don't get me wrong, Messi's amazing, but bringing in a player like that won't make a crazy difference.
So why do you agree with Mbappe making a crazy difference?
Well, because you guys aren't at that level yet.
But if you say Messi's not going to make a crazy difference, why would you think that Mbappe is going to make that much of a difference? He'll make a difference.
No. Well, because Messi, guess what? What do you have? 3 years with him. Mbappe, you have his entire
20,
career.
yeah.
We need defense. Silva was
but
great.
Have Mbappe.
You have 20 years of Mbappe. You can get defense in one
We
of
have how
those
many
years.
years? Chilwell. Chilwell's only
Don't even compare Chilwell and Mbappe.
Don't put them in the same sentence.
No, but we technically are comparing the back line of Chelsea as signing
Mbappe.
No, I mean, like, would you rather have Mbappe? Forget about the form they're in. Would you rather, like, over the summer? Let's pretend like they didn't have any bad games. Would you rather have Mbappe or? Okay, you ready for this? Would you rather have Mbappe or Chilwell, Silva, Mendy, Havertz, Werner?
Wait, slow down. So you have
Ziyech.
Well,
You need to write this down. This is
Mbappe.
all the Chelsea signings versus Mbappe.
But
But
Werner, you don't need anymore. Scratch him.
no,
the rest-
what are you talking about?
Chilwell, you can get him in January or the next year. Silva's a lost cause. You have Rudonkey who can play there.
Watch Premier League soccer.
Here, did I get all of them?
Probably, yeah. It looks like it.
I'm taking Mbappe. And
I'm
then if I'm Chelsea, I'm taking Mbappe.
but let's take a look
I'm
at
signing
this.
Donnarumma in
Okay,
January.
Yo, you would be a better manager than Frank Lampard, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
They're the same price.
By the way, oh yeah, 250. Yeah, they'd be the same price.
Right? Mbappe is probably around 250.
I'd assume. Well, remember when Madrid valued Modric at 750?
Ugh. Well, no, they just threw a fat release clause on him.
No one was
Well,
gonna-
that's what they do. Theo Hernandez had like a 300 mil release
Yeah,
clause.
yeah,
We didn't
no
pay
one's gonna
that.
pay.
That's what Madrid.
Then you
likes
wake
to do
up
that.
and in your inbox you see an email from Madrid saying we've paid 300 million. You probably wouldn't be too sad about
That's like
that.
career mode.
You would trade Theo Hernandez for
For
300 million.
300 million, I would
Yeah,
trade
you
the
would,
whole
yeah.
Arsenal team.
Well, that's not really much. That's like what, 16 million with like a bag of chips or something. Like it's not much.
But
Theo's better than Ben Chilwell.
Okay, that we're not. We talk about this every podcast. I can't get a break from you. Chilwell has arguably been Chelsea's best player this season. Zuma.
Ego, if you had the opportunity to have children with Theo Hernandez, would you do it?
On this episode, an
I'm
inside.
not gonna answer this on recording, but
What are we talking about?
But I think it's a yes from you.
Well, he said it before. He's just embarrassed to talk about it on the podcast.
I mean, look,
He loves him
maybe.
that much. He
He
loves
can
him
switch
that
bodies
much.
with his girlfriend for a day.
no.
What are you doing? then?
Well,
If
then
you
he
can switch
misses-
bodies
he
with his
misses
girlfriend, what are
games.
you doing?
Misses
Like,
games on leave.
Breaking up with him so he can focus on soccer.
That's
That's a smart man right there.
Fair
That's a
play.
smart
Fair
man.
play.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wait, so I want to switch gears a little bit, just so we're good on time. We can touch on this for like maybe a minute or 2 minutes. Vaccine talk. Is it a controversial thing if they were to make, let's just say the Premier League were to make vaccines mandatory?
I think legally they can't.
Well, they
Right.
can. They just say you can't play if you don't have it.
No. It's similar things with
Yeah,
our schools.
guess, yeah.
It's like you would sign a thing that says like it's not my fault if I get COVID.
I feel
Or
like
it is
yeah.
my fault if I get COVID.
Oh, I
but
see.
I don't know.
have to shut
I think this is just gonna be another wait and see scenario, like we've done a lot of with all this, with the fans coming back. We had no clue what was gonna happen, and it was a wait and see. And now the UK's in lockdown again, which really sucks for the players and kind of for everyone who's out there.
Right.
But I think that we'll start seeing better numbers with the vaccine, which I think we all want. And soccer players aren't going to be the first people to get the vaccine,
But they'll get it.
as
They'll
they
probably get it
shouldn't be.
before. They'll get it before like bystanders.
No, I don't think so. They're not essential.
It's kind of no, but it's kind of like in the NBA when they got their bubble, they got access to testing before, or in higher masses than the normal people.
America.
Yeah,
But it also depends, like, soccer, the top 5 leagues are 5 different countries, so all 5 countries are going to have different protocol on how to do that.
So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens.
Mhm.
If they make it mandatory, I wouldn't be surprised. If they don't make it mandatory, I wouldn't be surprised. And if they let players choose if they want it or not, if they let clubs choose if they want it or not,
right.
if they let cities choose, kind of at this point, nothing would surprise me.
It's probably like on the they have the tiers in England. It's probably like by tier, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of how they're doing it here with
Right,
like your
right.
essential workers and
Yeah.
this and that. Yeah.
I did love how Boris Johnson's plan when allowing fans back in the Premier League for that 1 week was that you can't cheer. Like you have to like no singing, no cheering. Like you can't drink or something. I don't know what it was. No, it was like no alcohol or something like that.
Mhm.
I mean, I get it, but like imagine a goal being scored and everyone's just like they're just like whispering.
Yay! Yes. Oh,
Yes.
good shot.
It reminds me
Good
of that
shot.
video, where it's like, oh, Harvey Barnes equalizer. You know that one?
And now Albie Barnes. Oh, it's an equaliser.
Oh, where he's like quiet. It's like when you score in foot champs at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice.
You're sitting in the away end, but you're yeah. Loved it. That was so funny. But I was thinking of players like I don't know if they're probably not gonna require you get Moderna or Pfizer. Like they're not gonna say, oh, you have to get Pfizer, you have to get Moderna. But like I was thinking of players like Ryan Cherky or Makoko from Dortmund or Harvey Elliott from Liverpool. They wouldn't even be able to get Moderna because they're
not 18.
They're not 18. So like, what if England was like, oh, we're not allowing Pfizer, you have to get Moderna, and then does Harvey Elliott just not get to play for Liverpool? Like he's just not of age. Like that would be such a shame.
Wait
I mean,
and
who
see.
knows?
Wait and see.
Who knows? We'll see. The vaccine is just, I mean, it's going to bring the numbers down. 95%
Yeah, hopefully.
rate of not getting,
And hopefully a lot of people will be able to get it, and we'll be able to get back to normal as soon as possible. Because I think
vaccine's going to help. Absolutely.
this sucks. This really does suck. We're almost coming up on the 1 year mark of being online school and all that.
Right. It's just. This
really tough.
stuff is so weird. I mean, 2020. I thought of this the other day, or earlier today. Ligue 1 didn't finish their season. It was the first time they didn't have a complete season since World War II, when they took those few-year absence or whatever, however long it was. Like, that's just crazy to me. It's just insane. All right, should we move over to the game here, Ika?
Yeah.
Explain it.
So, it's a game we've played before. I think it was the first game we played with Luke on the podcast, and it's guess their transfer market value. So I got 5 players for you guys. I'm gonna give you 4 options: A, B, C, and D. Write the number for the transfer value.
Okay, right.
Not the letter.
All right.
Luke likes to say A, B, C, D, and we don't even remember which ones are which.
Yeah. Well, normally when I do that,
I am so bad at this. I went over 10 in 2 episodes, I think. So bad.
That's not even possible. Even if you're guessing, you should be getting like what?
No, because it was like
1.
He didn't give me options.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
But I said Billy Moore at 19 million when he was like 6 or 7. All right, let's
First one of my favorite players right now, plays for Luke and Aiden's rivals, Heung-min Son.
Oh.
Is it A, 112 million, B, 132 million, C, 99 million, or D, 85 million? Let me know when you have the answers.
By the way, in this little
what was
this top section, I'm writing all the answers.
You know,
112, 132, 99, or 85.
I had an initial
Notes
one.
paying off. Yeah,
I
I
had
wrote
an initial one, but I'm not gonna go. Like I thought of one in my head, and then you said it, but now I'm not.
My initial is pretty close to
3,
ones you
2,
said.
1.
112.
Well, Aiden gets the point for this one. He takes a 1-0 lead. It's 99 million.
In my head, I thought
I wrote 110 off the bat, which
Would you pay a $99 million price
Yeah.
tag for him.
Oh
and
yeah,
Son.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
so good.
I think.
Oh,
Would you rather have Son or your whole back line? Like, yes, I got to.
Well,
I have
think
the
about
lead.
it. For Havertz and an extra 20 mil, you could have Son.
no doubt about that. You're saying yes. Oh my! But they'll never get rid of him
Yeah, no.
All right.
until
Next
they do.
player.
Yep.
He's played for both Aiden and I's club, and he moved to Miami. It's Gonzalo Higuain.
Right.
What
now?
is his transfer value?
Huh.
Is it A, 11 million, B, 15 million, C, 5 million, or D, 2 million?
2 million is a that's a crime. Poor Gonzalo. I mean,
All right.
MLS has probably impacted his transfer value.
Yeah, he hasn't. He's been injured.
All right, ready?
Yes, I'm my answer.
3, 2, 1.
It's like 5.
11.
Aiden, 2 for 2.
What? Look at that! Look, I wrote 8, and I
Yeah.
went with the closest.
You need
Surely
to,
I can't lose to Luke now.
Luke, you need to win out to win.
Yeah, I know.
I can win this if I get. I actually need one more.
If I get
Yeah.
one more wrong, you can't lose.
I can just draw with.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Nico can technically win if we both get everything
if we
wrong.
get everything wrong.
All right.
Next player, he's a Welsh boy. Not Gareth,
Oh.
Aaron Ramsey.
Ooh,
Oh,
Rambo! I love him.
Wait, is he Juve
He's
right
on the
now?
back. Wait,
Juve, yeah.
he's on the back of the blue jersey.
All right. Let's
So is his value A, 27 million, B, 32 million, C, 38 million, or D, 22 million?
I mean, he cannot be that high. What was B?
B was 32. Aiden, I think we're gonna go with the same answer here.
Are we going with B?
Like, yeah, I've gone with B.
32 mil.
32.
Iko gets the point. It's 22 million.
I was gonna put
Really?
that. I literally said
How
it
much
could not
did
be that high.
Juve? Well, his wages are high,
He's
though.
30 years old. He's not
Well,
32
That's
Wages.
why you
million.
heard me. I said there's no way he's that high, and I was gonna put 22, but I was like, nah, maybe. Oh, I could have won it.
he's also had bad form because he's not really a consistent starter.
Yeah,
which I think
McKinney's
is-
better.
is not help. Well, and younger. Probably
They
better
got
than
him for free from Arsenal.
Yeah, but his
Yeah.
wages are ridiculous.
The next player, he's been in the transfer talks recently. A Borussia Dortmund youngster, Julian Brandt.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
well,
class.
that's an Arsenal signing. There you
That's
go.
class.
Oh, it's Royce. Okay, yeah. Go on.
Is it A, 42.5 million,
Gee, okay. What's
B, 38.5 million, C,
halfsies?
30.5 million, or D, 45.5 million?
what was?
I can't guess.
Can you say the options again? I'm sorry.
42.5, 38.5, 30.5, 45.5. Here are the answers.
Got it. Thanks.
I'm gonna go.
I've got my
Go
answer.
with-
This is how much I think they should get for him, but I'm not too confident in it.
All right. I've gone
Answers?
on a low ball.
42.5.
Well, Iko ties Aiden.
No, I'm going
It's 38.5 million.
Damn.
Our final player, to see if Luke can pull one back.
I want Ego to win.
Wait, slow down. Slow down, slow down.
Luke, I need this from you. Either me or you. It's fine.
I know Luke loves this player. He was the only goal scorer in Southampton versus Liverpool.
Danny Ings.
Danny Ings. Is his transfer value A, 22 million, B, 32 million, C, 25 million, or D, 18 million?
I'm gonna
How
lose.
old is he?
I was gonna say I think he's
He's
like
28.
28.
that's what I was about to say. Yeah, he's pretty old. Or not pretty old, but
Southampton. He's English.
I'm just basing off what he had last season.
Really?
Well, because he's okay. I'm gonna try and help you out, although it might not help at all. So don't listen to me. But like, I'm assuming he's higher than 22 because there's no way he's less than Ramsey, who was 22. But with that being said, how?
All right.
Wait. Let me see the options again. Or I guess you can't show me, but
22, 32, 25, 18.
I'm writing one in the corner, which I think it probably is, but I'm going with one.
Oh, here, I'll do the same. I think
Alright.
it's actually this. Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
I put
Answers?
25.
Yeah, 25.
What'd you put in the corner? I put 32 in the corner as well.
Yeah.
Well, Eco wins this one. It's 22 million.
What? Really?
Yeah, 22 million.
My. Well, okay. To be fair. He's kind of just a tapping machine.
He's the same as
He's the same price as Ramsey, who rides the bench.
That's
Yeah, but Ramsey
ridiculous.
was so good. He was consistent for a while.
Consistently
well,
terrible.
You know,
What the
like
hell?
like Chelsea, Aiden started off hot, but then got horrible towards the end.
All right, whatever. What about Luke?
We don't
Luke
talk
went 0 for
about it.
5.
Oh, yeah, typical Arsenal.
Fair enough. All
Swing
right.
and a miss.
Thanks for tuning in to episode 17 of Inside the D. We'll see you next time.